All right. Hello, everyone. It's Rachel. And well, maybe that's obvious because I'm live right now. Anyway, it's Rachel. And I'm super excited because I have with me the beautiful Brianna. And Brianna is a lifestyle coach. And she did such a beautiful job of describing to me how she explains this to people. And so instead of me like totally mutilating it, I'm going to pass the mic over to her and let her introduce herself tonight. And I just have to do a shout out for a second to Brianna because Brianna is like done some pretty fantastic work in the last couple of months, but she also freaking launched a book, a poem book, like a book of her work, of her writing, like holy shit, people. So let's just give her a little applause. And of course, she will tell us about it. So if you want a copy, you can go on Amazon, of course, and get it. But Brianna, first, just tell them a little bit about you, tell them about who you help, and yeah, tell them about your fucking amazing book.
All right. Thank you so much for the amazing introduction. To begin with, but hi everyone, my name is Brianna Antoinette. I'm a lifestyle coach where I help people transition, coming out of abuse, coming out of negativity, and transmuting it into positivity. We're talking about leveling up healthily and also holistically. So on all elements, financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, how can we level up? We're not gonna let whoever hurt us in our past keep us down, okay? It's time to launch and level up. And so that is the basis of my program. And also, yes, Rachel mentioned my book, Ascension, where I talk about where I was in my negativity, in my past, in my, foregoing abuse, and how my soul transcended or ascended, so I can use the book title.
Yes. I love it.
Back to self-love. And that is what I want to transmute to everyone who I come in contact with, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what you have gone through, you can level up, you can ascend, and it's in all of us. I just help you find it.
Oh my God, I absolutely love this. It's so funny because I was just in Austin, Texas this past week with the certification school I went through. And one of the questions is, why life coaching? And literally I was like, so you can stop being an asshole to yourself and to others. And the girl who was behind the camera, she was like, that was amazing. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty much what it's about at its core. Right. And that's basically like what Brianna's gonna do. Stop being an asshole to yourself. Other people maybe, from your trauma, you have beaten you up. You don't have to keep doing that.
You don't have to, right? Go from a victim to a conqueror, because you definitely can. It's just for you to decide to leave that alone and move forward toward positivity.
So good. So many people need it. Okay, people, if you're out there listening right now, you got to reach out to Brianna. If you're in that space, she is amazing. So Brianna, tell them a little bit, so if you were to go back 3 months, right, when we started the program, what do you want to tell that version of you now?
Honestly, I would have said, girl, you should have started sooner. Because when Rachel says I'm a complete, opposite end of the spectrum from when I started, I kind of started in the shell. I was a little nervous. This is a whole new, aspect of a career that I'm about to jump into. What's it going on? To this moment, do you see the glow? Because I see the glow. Oh,
glow, girl, it is radiating. I just wrote a post about getting turned on by your business, and you are such a beautiful example of this.
Light is turned on. Rachel helped me find my light so I can help others find their light. So when I tell you it's a complete just turn on of a switch to what you're doing and why. And that's what will really take you on is your why power more than your willpower ever will.
Yes, preach, girl, 100%. So Brianna, just so they know, because some people I think they have to be in this line of work to step fully into it. And what were you doing when we started?
Real estate. Can you imagine?
I love it. So that's why I'm like, okay, people, it doesn't fucking matter. She was doing real estate. And
better at
real
home.
estate isn't, I mean, my husband is a real estate agent, so I do know it's a service, and it's like, it's not like, okay, you weren't like, I can't even think of anything. I try to think, because I almost said a bookkeeper, but I actually know someone who is a bookkeeper who's now a bookkeeper coach. So
Interesting.
anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole. I love that. So you would tell 3 months ago, Brianna, you should have started sooner.
Definitely should have started sooner. When I was in real estate, it was more so trying to go after the money, but that doesn't keep someone, in a position long enough. You needed to go after what was your passion. And my passion is found in helping other people. That's, when you get into alignment with what you truly want to do, the money will flow regardless. So Yes. What do you think? I didn't even ask you this question, but this is how this works sometimes. So what do you think was holding you back? What was holding me back from starting? I had so many objections, just, oh, this is new. Oh, what if I fail again? What is this program? I've never, I'm just really scared to really step out there again, really just stuck in my shell. And then just you coming along and giving me that push. And I've been gently pushed throughout the program, which is what I need, is a little kick in the butt. Be like, let's go. You can do it now.
A little bit.
There's no time like the present. So yeah, just really scared at first. And then just the best remedy to fear is just action. And I took that action, and I am absolutely in a new place. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Oh my God. And Brianna, she's actually like, I think playing a little small here is like, literally Brianna would come to we have office hours, and she would almost always leave with this holy fuck, I gotta go do this thing, right? It was she was the one person every single time. It was she'd come up with something, be like, well, I'm gonna think about it. Maybe I'll get started in a couple weeks. And I was like, so tomorrow? Literally, we were like, I'm gonna launch my book in a couple weeks. I'm like, so by Friday?
By Friday?
It was awesome. And she did it. That was that's the mind-blowing part, is some people you're like, yeah, let's support them, let's help them step into it, let's empower them to take the step. But then their fear, overrides it. But damn, not this girl, man. At all. Not at all. What would you say, for you is a strength, something that either a strength or an ability that maybe you learned or stepped more into through the last 3 months that you feel like you have now gained access to, that maybe you didn't have access to before, and that you're now using in your work? Is there something that you can think of?
Definitely learning how to understand my emotions. There was a really nice, just a little sneak peek into the program that you are separating the facts from the emotions. And I, being able to journal out what was going on based on, your templates, I was able to see, oh, what is this? This is not even, my thoughts. Where did I learn this from? This is not even a fact. What is that? Separating, what was actually factual to something that was just a Harvard limited belief, that not only that wasn't a part of what I learned, it was a learned behavior. Yes. So yeah, definitely figuring out, and tapping more closer into my intuition and separating myself from fear, because the fear isn't me. It's something that was learned, so I just figuring out what was my true truth and sticking to it and following its path.
Okay, and how do you see that, or how are you already maybe using that with your people?
Already using it with my people by letting them know on that little tactic that I've learned, just letting them know that they can also regulate their emotions, and also their breath work that we learned.
Oh my God, right?
Regulate your own nervous system. Calming myself down usually took I just need a day. I'm done with today. I'll try this again tomorrow. But then I'll get back up and, let me do my little, my breathing technique, and I'll be back on it in about an hour. The productivity has definitely exponentially grew since I started the program.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, I think that breathing, it's one of those things that like we talk about, like people talk about a lot, but it's so underutilized. And myself sometimes too. Sometimes I'm like, hello girl, you got these tools over here, you gotta use them, you know?
Like, hello.
So gotta remind myself too. But yeah, I agree. Some of those breathing exercises, they're simple, but they're powerful.
Very much so, very foundational, connecting back into your source, which is your breath. Isn't that, it's just, like you said, so undervalued, so overlooked, but it's right there. We always have it, you know?
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
Totally free. You don't have to pay for it either, which is really good news, right? Not too many things in this world are free, and your breath is one of them. So yeah, hey, if you're listening, people, you got to learn how to use your breath, 100%. So what would you say, were there any obstacles like coming in that you thought would be really hard to overcome that ended up being like, that was, simple, done?
I would say I was at first very afraid of facing myself, because you mentioned, you know, in the program, you are your first client. I'm like, oh snap. So who is Brianna? You know?
Shit, I got to actually meet her.
Right. And then so really just delving into my own darkness, I was afraid of it at first, but I learned so much about myself. Well, because the thing is with this program, you know, you work on toward the end building an entity, but you have to know the first entity, which is yourself.
Thank you, girl.
Oh my goodness. Like that was just the way it just streamed into one another. I was like, wow, that just makes so much sense. You really can't create another without knowing the first, the original, you know? So facing my darkness was what I was afraid of, but getting through it, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, and that's the glow, people.
That's the
Brianna glow. We're going to call it the Brianna glow.
Brianna glow. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I love it. So Brianna, if someone's listening right now and they're kind of on the fence, maybe, you know, they're scared to invest in themselves. They maybe never have, or it just seems like way too much money right now for them. What would you tell them?
I would tell them the money shouldn't be even an objection. Once you figure out what your passion is, there is no ceiling on what you can actually make in return. If you just invest in yourself off bat, you can see how in turn people invest in you. That it pays forward in a sense. Like it's a no-brainer at this point. All the tools that you get to keep it after the program. You know, there is it's a no-brainer. I don't know what to say. Like that's crazy. Don't do it. Get into this program yesterday, okay?
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Yes. Yeah, no, really. She's Brianna's had, like, actually, if anyone is watching and they saw the, what would I even call it? Oh my God, brain mush. It's like my 3-part start your coaching business. I don't know, video series. Brianna is the star. So you guys, if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, you should hit me up and I will make sure you get it. But it's really quite amazing to have watched someone really truly own the work, step into the work, do the work like fully. And literally it's like planting a seed. We planted little Brianna and she bloomed, girl.
Oh yeah, I can agree. Wow.
Yeah. So Brianna, if someone's watching right now and they're like, okay, yes, I've had some trauma in my background, and I am ready. Like maybe, you know, we were talking about this, they've done some of that work on that, but now it's like, it's one of the, I don't say the negative things about therapy, because I was a therapist. I hate to like talk poorly about it in any way, but it's almost like once you've done some of that work, it's like there's not always a what's next. It's like, okay, you're great, but there is a what's next, right? And Brianna's here to help support you in that what's next, like in really living, I like to call it full out. And so Brianna, A, if they're interested in that, or B, they're interested in getting your book, Ascension, which I really hope, we're talking about it later tonight, guys, but I really hope that's the name of your program too. Good, because I'm like, damn, it should be, girlfriend. Okay, good. How do they find you?
Okay, so you can find me at Brianna Antoinette on Facebook. I am Brianna Antoinette on Instagram. You can email me at brianna@briannaantoinette.com. You can also reach me at www.briannaantoinette.com. If it's not Brianna Antoinette, it's not me.
I love it. I love the simplicity of it. I use my name too. It just was like, I don't know, it seems simple, but yeah, seriously, if you're listening, you're resonating with Brianna's energy, it is, I highly, highly suggest if you're looking for someone to help support you, you know, and you don't have to be like in that place where you're like, I always love to say like coaching isn't always just about like being in a shit place and then feeling better. It can be like, I'm in a like neutral place, but I want to be fucking amazing, right? And I think it's so important that we, you know, we're humans and we all need support and we all need to see what we can't see to elevate, to extend to the next level. So definitely reach out to Brianna if this is, you know, resonating. And if you're interested in joining the Live Your Dharma Coaching Certification, we do have a few spots in the next round. So I will drop a link and you can apply and we'll jump on a call. And like Brianna, you can go from a seed to a beautiful flower. I'm going to say a sunflower because those are my favorite.
I love those. That's perfect.
Oh, Brianna, thank you so much for taking some time out of your afternoon, evening, I guess morning, depends on where you are in the world. Brianna and I are both on the East Coast, so we're in the same time zone. But if you are in another one, thanks for listening in. And oh, thank you, sweetie. I am like so honored to be in your corner.
Well, thank you for all the tools, you know, being an amazing mentor. I couldn't even thank you enough for like taking me out of that shell and now watching me, you know, launch. I just, I can't thank you enough. So thank you so much, Rachel.
All right, guys. So everyone, make sure you get a coach, especially if you don't want to be an asshole to yourself. That's going to be my new tagline, or to anyone else. I just cracked myself up. I was literally, all right, I'll end now. I can babble on forever. I'll tell you, Brianna. Everyone else, you'll have to listen in for it later. All right, everyone, have a good night.
Bye-bye.